Hi, so in this video we will do SAT practice test number 1. We will solve all the questions that will be related to the non-calculator and the calculator question both. Okay, so let's start off with question number 1. Question number 1, it says if x minus 1 is equal over 3 is equal to k and k is equal to 3, what is the value of x? So what we will do here, we'll just insert the value of k equals to 3 in this expression, in this equation, and we will work out the value for x. So x minus 1 over 3 is equal to 3 because k is equal to 3. Now we'll do the cross multiplication. After cross multiplication it will become x minus 1 equals to 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Now I'll add 1 on both sides and x will become equal to 10. So for the first question, this is the correct answer. Now let's move on to question number 2. In question number 2 it says that for iota equals to negative 1 under root, what is the sum 7 plus 3 iota plus negative 8 plus 9 iota? Now we'll have to add them. So in this case 7 plus 3 iota plus minus will become minus 8, plus plus will remain plus 9 iota. In this case these iota numbers are called the complex numbers, and these numbers are the real numbers. So 7 can only be added into negative 8 and 3 iota can be added into 9 iota. So 7 minus 8 is negative 1 and 3 plus 9 is plus 12 iota. So that will be negative 1 plus 12 iota. So for question number 2, option A is the correct one. Now let's move on to question number 3. On Saturday afternoon, Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours, and Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. Which of the following represent the total number of messages sent by Armand and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? So the message sent by Armand, as the total messages would be the message sent by Armand plus the messages sent by Tyrone. Alright, so Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours. So it will be so the total messages for 5 hours will become 5M, and Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. So the total messages for Tyrone will become 4P. So the correct option would be 5M plus 4P. That is option C. Now we'll move on to question number 4. In question number 4 it says that Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated with the equation P equals to 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108 in this equation? So you see, this P is basically, I'll write this equation over here. So P would be equal to 108 minus 23D. Now P represents the number of phones left that she has to repair. Phones left. And D is the number of days she has worked that week. So these are the number of days. Now this 108 is a fixed number. So every time, let's suppose she worked for 1 day So the total number of phones that would be left will be 108 minus 23. Okay, let's suppose that d is equal to 2. So the total number of phones that will be left would be 108 minus 23 times 2, that would be 46. So you can see, as we are increasing the number of days, the numbers of phones that will be left, they are decreasing. So we can say that this 108 would be all the phones that she has in total that she has to repair. So let's check the options. Kathy will complete the repairs within 108 days. No. Kathy starts each week with 108 phones to fix. Yes, this will be the option. Kathy repairs phones at a rate of 108 per hour. No. Kathy repairs phones at a rate of 108 per day. No. The concept here is, as the number of days are increasing, the number of phones that are left for repairing, they are being decreased. So we can say that each week she gets 108 phones to repair, and as the number of days increases, the number of phones that are to be repaired, they decrease. So 108 are the total number of phones. So the option would be B. Okay, so now we'll move on to question number 5. It says this is an expression. This is an expression. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? So we have to solve this expression now. Let's open the bracket first. So x square y minus 3y square plus 5xy square. Now minus will become plus. So plus x square y minus plus will become minus. So minus 3xy square minus will become plus. So plus 3y square. Now we can only add the like terms with each other, and we cannot add the unlike terms with each other. So let's find out the like terms. So x square y, these are the two like terms. So one x square y, or we can say x square y plus x square y, it will become 2x square y. Next thing, 3y square, this is negative 3y square, and this is positive 3y square. So this will get cancelled. Now 5xy square minus 3xy square. So we can say that 5 minus 3, that is 2. So plus 2xy square. So the correct option for this one would be option C. Alright, now let's move on to question number 6. Question number 6 says there's an equation h equals to 3a plus 28.6. Now let's see what does it say. A pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height of the boy in inches. In terms of boy's age, A, we will underline the important words, important numbers, important variables once we are reading the question. So the height is h and the age is A in years, between the ages of 2 and 5. Based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? Okay, so we have to see how much is the increase of boy's height each year. Now we can see that when we insert age, because A is the age, so if we insert 2, because the ages are between 2 and 5. So let's suppose if we insert 2 in this equation, we will get h equals to 3 times 2 plus 28.6. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 28.6 would be equal to 34.6. So a boy of 2 years old has a height of 34.6. Now let's suppose if we insert 3, that is the next year when he will become 3 years old. So let's suppose let's see what is his height. So 3 times 3 plus 28.6, that will be 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 28.6, that will become 37.6. So the difference between 37.6 and 34.6, that will be our answer. So 37.6 minus 34.6, so this is equal to 3. So each year the increase in height of a boy's age is 3 units. Over here we are not given the unit of height, so we'll just say 3 units. Okay, so the thing is, I put 2 years and found the height for the boy of 2 years old. Then I put age equal to 3 years and then I found the height, and then I took their difference and I got the increase in height in 1 year. You can also put 3 over here, 4 over here, or you can also put 4 over here and 5 over here. Okay, you'll put the consecutive ages, and then for the answer you will take their difference. That will give you the increase in the height per year. So this is done for question number 6. So in question number 7 we have given like complex type of equation. Okay, but let's go over the question. It will be like quite easy. The formula above gives the monthly payment M needed to pay off a loan of P dollars at R% annual interest over N months. Which of the following gives P in terms of M, R, and N? So the thing is, here we have to work out the value for P. Okay, now when we work out the value for P, we have to make P as a subject. So this question is purely related to making a variable a subject. So let's look at this question in this way. We have to isolate P from everything, or we can say we have to move everything else onto the left side of the equation, and only P will remain on one side of the equation. So this whole thing is in denominator. So when we do the cross multiplication, it will get multiplied with M. Okay, and this whole thing is in numerator. This whole thing is in numerator. So when we cross multiply, this numerator will come into the denominator of M, and P will remain in the numerator. So let's rearrange it now. So M times 1 plus R over 1200 to the power of N minus 1. So this portion of the equation, has been written over here. So this whole thing has come in the numerator and get multiplied with M. Now this whole portion is in the numerator. So when we'll cross multiply, this will become in the denominator of M. So it can be written as like this: R over 1200 times 1 plus R over 1200, and this whole thing will be equal to P. Now we will see in the option which is the option. So for this one, A, no, this is wrong. B, yes, this is correct. This is wrong. This is wrong. So B is the correct option for question number 7. So in such question, you should not confuse yourself or get frustrated that this is a quite complex equation of how we can solve it without using calculator. You have to use some intelligence and think for a moment that what is the best possible way in which you can find out the solution to such questions. And one more thing that you have to understand is you have to wait for, if you are not understanding the question, you have to read out the question twice or thrice. Okay, so you won't be you can say that you won't be influenced by the complexity of the equation. Okay, so this is how we can do question number 7. Now let's move on to question number 8. Alright, so in question number 8, it's quite simple question. We have to find the expression 4b over a. So 4b over a, we are only given a over b, that is equal to 2. So I'll write it here. A over b is equal to 2. Now the first thing that we have to notice is b is in the numerator and a is in the denominator. So we will flip this fraction, and this fraction will become b over a is equal to 1 over 2. So when we will flip this fraction, we also have to flip 2. So 2 will become 1 over 2. Now we have to transform the expression on the left side of the equation equal to this one. So what I'll do is I'll multiply both sides of the equation with 4. So 4 get multiplied with b, and in over here the 4 will be multiplied like this. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So 4b over a will become equal to 2. So that's option C. Alright. Now, next question. This question is simply a system of simultaneous equation, and we have to solve them. In order to solve them, we can use 3 methods. One is elimination, the other is substitution, and the third method is trial and error. That is, I think, is the, like, I recommend it, but you can use the method of elimination and substitution as well. So what we'll do here is I'll take this option and I'll check the value of x and y in these equations. If my option satisfies both the equations, then my option is correct. Otherwise, I look for another option. So over here, this is -5, -2, which means x equals to -5 and y is equal to -2. Now these values of x and y should satisfy our both the equations. So 3 times -5 is -15, and 4 times -2 is -8. So -5 minus -8, that will be -15 plus -8 would be equal to -23. So this is satisfying the first equation. Now let's try for the second equation. So for the second equation, it is 2 times y. Now y is -2 minus x. X is -5. Now 2 times -2 is -4, and minus times -5 is +5. So -4 plus 5 is 1. So this equation has not been satisfied, so this option is incorrect. Now let's take the second option. X equals to 3, y equals to -8. So I'll put x equals to 3 over here. 3 times 3 plus 4 times -8 is equal to -23. No, I'll solve it and let's see what's the answer. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 4 times -8 is -32. So 9 minus 32 is -23. So this equation is satisfied. Now let's move on to the next equation. 2 times -8, because y is -8, so I'll insert -8 in the place of y, minus x is 3 is equal to -19. Okay, so 2 times -8 is -16, -3. Now this is equal to -19. So it is satisfying this equation, so my option B is correct. This is one way in which you can solve such equations. The other method that I recommend is substitution. Now let's solve this question with the substitution method. So I call this equation as equation 1 and this equation as equation 2. Now from 2, I'll make x as my subject. So I'll first write equation 2 over here. 2y minus x equals to -19. Now I'll make x as a subject. So I'll add x on both sides. this will get cancelled. So 2y will become equal to x minus 19. Now I will add 19 on both sides. This will get cancelled, and on the left side 2y will become 2y plus 19 will become equal to x. Now my x, I'll write this equation, x equals to 2y plus 19 over here. Now I'll insert this whole value of x into equation 1. So I'll write equation 1 here. So 3x plus 4y equals to negative 23. Now x is 2y plus 19. So 3 times 2y plus 19 plus 4y is equal to negative 23. Now 3 times 2y is 6y plus 19 times 3, that would be 57 plus 4y is equal to negative 23. Now 6y plus 4y is 10y. 10y is equal to negative 23. Now I'll shift this plus 57 onto the other side, that will become negative 57. Okay, so now my y will become equal to negative 80 over 10, that is equal to negative 8. So y is equal to negative 8. Now I'll insert negative 8 in this equation. So x will be equal to 2 times negative 8 plus 19. So x equals to negative 16 plus 19. So x will be equal to 3. So in this method we can solve it by the method of substitution. So x will become equal to 3 and y will become equal to negative 8. Now the third method is the elimination. Now I leave it on to you to try this question with the elimination method, and we'll move on to the next question. In this question, question number 11, it says b is equal to this much, c is equal to this much. In the equations above, b and c represent the price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken. So this b is the price of beef and this c is the price of chicken. Now this x represents x weeks after July 1 during last summer. Okay, so x represents the number of weeks after July. Weeks after July. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? So here we have to find out the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of the chicken. So what we will do here, we will say that the price of beef is equal to the price of chicken. Now from here we know that the price of beef is 2.35 plus 0.25x is equal to, now the price of chicken is 1.75 plus 0.4x. Alright, so this whole thing is the price of beef, this whole thing is the price of chicken. From here we'll work out the value of x by solving this equation, and then we will insert that value of x into this equation and we will work out the value of beef. Okay, so let's do it now. So I'll subtract 2.35 on both sides. So on the left side we can get rid of the constant terms, so this will get cancelled and 0.25x will be equal to, now 1.75 minus 2.35. So when we subtract them, they will become equal to negative 0.6. Negative 0.6 plus 0.4x. Now I'll subtract 0.4x on both sides. On the right side it will get cancelled. On the left side that will be equal to negative 0.15x. So negative 0.15x is equal to negative 0.6. Now these negative signs will get cancelled, and I'll divide both sides by 0.15. So this 0.15 will get cancelled, so x will be equal to 0.6 over 0.15. Now how can I solve this one? I'll multiply both the numerator and denominator with 100. So times 100 times 100. So the numerator will become 0.6 times 100 will become 60 over 15.15 times 100 becomes 15. Okay, so 16 over 15, that will be equal to 4. So x is equal to 4. Now I'll insert this value of 4 into this main equation. So my x is equal to 4. So the price of beef would be equal to 2.35 plus 0.25 times 4. So 2.35 plus 0.25 times 4 is equal to 1. Okay, because 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 0.25, it makes up 1. So the price will become equal to 3.35. $3.35. So D is the correct answer. Okay, now in this question I am doing everything step by step, that's why it is taking a bit longer time. But when you practice such questions, your speed will increase. So you have to practice such questions, because in exam you might run out of the time. So practice such questions, practice, like, strengthen your additions and strengthen your subtraction, especially in the decimals and fraction. How you can add the decimals, how you can add the fractions, all right, and how can you make a variable as subject as quickly as possible. That will help you a lot. So this is how we'll do question number 11. So this is it. Now we'll move on to the next one. So in question number 12, it says a line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1 over 7. Which of the following points lies on the line? So in such questions, first of all, we have to make the equation of the line. So the line is like this. Let me draw the x and y axis. Here's the y-axis. This is the x-axis. The line is passing through the origin like this. Now the y-intercept of the line is equal to 0. The gradient of the line is 1 over 7. Now the standard equation of line is y is equal to mx plus c. This is the equation of line. Now my m is 1 over 7 and my c is 0. So I'll say that y is equal to 1 over 7 times x plus 0. So my equation will become y is equal to 1 over 7x. So this is my equation. So what I'll do trial and error, simple. So I'll take my first point and I'll insert 0 in place of x, and I'll see whether I get y as 7 or not. So I'll write my equation here. Y equals to 1 over 7x. So when I'll insert 0 in place of x, y will become 0. So this option is incorrect. Now I'll insert 1 in place of x, and we'll see what I'll get in y. So in place of x, if I insert 1 times 1 over 7, so y will be equal to 1 over 7. So this is also incorrect. Now I'll insert 7 in place of x, and let's see what I'll get. So in place of x, if I'll insert 7, I'll get y is equal to 1, because 7 over 7 becomes 1. So this option is also incorrect. So ultimately this option will be the correct one. Now let's insert the values. So in place of x, I'll insert 14, and 14 over 7 would be equal to 2. So I'll get y is equal to 2. So this answer is correct, that x is equal to 14 and y is equal to 2. So that is option D. In this way we will do question number 12. Alright, so here we skipped the question number 10. So now let's do question number 10 now. So a function is given, g of x is equal to ax squared plus 24 for a function g defined above. A is a constant and g of 4 is equal to 8. What is the value of g of negative 4? So we have to work out the value of g of negative 4. In this case, we need to find out the value of a first. So we will use this equation for the function. It says that when g of 4 is equal to 8. It means that if we insert 4 in the place of x, we will get 8. So a times 4 square plus 24 is equal to 8. I have inserted 4 in place of x. So let's see what I'll get for a. So a times 4 square, that is 16a, plus 24 is equal to 8. So 16a is equal to 8 minus 24, and 8 minus 24 would be negative 16. So 16a is equal to negative 16 and a is equal to negative 1. So the value of a is negative 1. Now I'll find the value of g of negative 4. So in order to find g negative 4, it will be a is negative 1, and in place of x I'll insert negative 4 square plus 24. So g of negative 4 will be negative 16, because the negative 4 times negative 4, it will become positive 16. So negative 16 plus 24, so 24 minus 16, that will be 8. So g of negative 4 will become equal to 8. So for question number 10, option A is the correct answer. Okay. So after this, we'll move on to the next question. That is question number, we are done with 11, we are done with 12. Now let's see question number 13. Okay, now in question number 13, it says, if x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent? X greater than 3, and we have to see which of the following is equivalent. So x is greater than 3. Which of the following is equivalent to this expression? Alright, so let's suppose first of all we have to simplify this expression. So it will be like equal to 1 over, now I'll take the LCM of this one, so it will be like x plus 2 times x plus 3, and over here 1 times x plus 3 plus 1 times x plus 2. So this will become, now this term is in the denominator of the denominator, so it will come in the numerator. So it will be like x plus 2 times x plus 3 divided by x plus 3 plus x plus 2. So x plus 2 times x plus 3 whole thing divided by x plus x is 2x, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So 2x plus 5 is in the denominator, and in the numerator, let's see what we get in the numerator. So I'll just multiply them. So x times x plus 3 plus 2 times x plus 3 over 2x plus 5. So x square plus 3x plus 2x plus 6 is in the numerator, and in the denominator, that is 2x plus 5. So now In the numerator I'll have x squared plus 5x plus 6, and in the denominator I'll have 2x plus 5. So this whole expression is equal to my option number B. Alright, and this x is greater than 3 is only given because if x is less than 3, or x will become equal to -3, then the whole expression could become undefined. Okay, so don't get confused with x greater than 3. You just have to solve this expression in this question. Now we'll move on to question number 24. So in question number 24 it says if 3x minus y is equal to 12, what is the value of 8 raised to power x divided by 2 raised to power y? So let's solve this question now. We have to transform, or we have to use this equation in order to find out the value for this expression. Okay, so I'll write here 3x minus y is equal to 12. So y will become equal to 3x minus 12. Okay, now y is 3x minus 12. Now I'll write this expression because I have to find the value for this expression. So it will be like 8 raised to the power x divided by 2 to the power of y. Now I can write 8 to the power of x as 2 to the, I can write to 8 as 2 to the power of 3 because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And in place of 8, I'll just replace 8 with 2 to the power of 3. Whole exponent is x, and in the denominator I'll have 2 raised to the power y. So in the numerator it will become 2 to the power of 3x, and the denominator is 2 to the power of y. We can see that the bases are same, so we can subtract the exponents because they are being divided. So it will be like 3x minus y. Now you see 3x minus y over here, 3x minus y is equal to 12. So I'll just replace this whole thing with 12. So my answer will become equal to 2x to 2 to the power of 12. So option A is my correct answer. Question number 14. Alright, now we'll move on to question number 15. Okay, so in question number 15, alright, so in this question we have given an equation where we have to find the value of c, and the value of a plus b is given. So what are the two possible values for c? So first of all, what we'll do here, we'll multiply this expression ax plus 2 times bx plus 7, and I'll compare the answer for this expression with this equation on with this expression onto the right side of the equation. So let's solve it. So it will be like ax times bx plus 7 plus 2 times bx plus 7. So ax times bx, that will be equal to ab x square, plus 7 times ax will be equal to 7ax, 2 times bx will be equal to 2bx, plus 7 times 2 is 14. Now you see, when we compare this whole expression with the expression onto the right side, that will be equal to 15x squared plus cx plus 14. So 14 is equal to 14. 15 would be equal to ab. So I can say that my ab is equal to 15, and 7ax plus 2bx is equal to cx, or I can say that 7a plus 2b is equal to c. Alright, so I'll write c over here. So c is equal to 7a plus 2b. Now ab is equal to 15, and a plus b, as it is given in the question, this is equal to 8. Now what I'll do here is I'll work out the value for I have to work out the two values for c. So ab is equal to 15, so I can say that b is equal to 15 over A, and I'll insert 15 over here, 15 over A over here. So A plus 15 over A is equal to 8. Now I'll just solve it, so it will be like A square plus 15 over A is equal to 8. Over here I have multiplied and divided both the numerator and denominator with A, so that's why it became A square. So now A square plus 15 is equal to 8A, and A square minus 8A plus 15 will become equal to 0. Now from here I'll get two values of A and find the value of B. So let me remove this working. Okay, so now I'll make its factors. So it will be like minus 5A minus 3A plus 15 is equal to 0. So A times A minus 5 minus 3 times A minus 5 is equal to 0. A minus 5 is equal to 0, or A minus 3 is equal to 0. So my two values of A are A is equal to 5 and A is equal to 3. Now for these two values of A, I'll find my two values of B. So when A is equal to 5, I'll insert it here. So my B will become equal to 8 minus 5. So my B will become equal to 3. And when A is equal to 3, my B will become equal to 8 minus 3, that is 5. Now I'll work out the two values of C. So C is equal to 7A plus 2B. So 7 times, now over here I'll take this A, that is equal to 5. So 7 times 5 plus now 2 times B, so 2 times 3. So 7 times 5 is 35 and 2 times 3 is 6. So C will be equal to 41. And the other value of C, let's see, C equals to 7 times A. Now A is 3 over here, plus 2 times B, B is 5. So 7 times 3 is 21 and 5 times 2 is 10. So 21 plus 10 is 31. So C is equal to 31. So these are the two values of C, that is option D. So this is how we will do question number 15. Question number 16. So in this question we have to work out the value for t, and the equation is t square minus 4 is equal to 0 and t is greater than 0. So let's make the t square as the subject first. So what we'll do here is I'll add plus 4 on both sides. This minus 4 will get cancelled with this plus 4. So t square will be equal to 4. Okay. Now I'll take the square root on both sides, and this square will get cancelled with this square root, and t will become equal to plus minus 2. Now because it said that t is greater than 0, so I'll just negate negative 2. So t will be equal to 2. So this is for question number 16. Question number 17. So in this question a figure has been given, and the question is, a summer camp counselor wants to find a length x in feet across a lake as represented in the sketch above. The lengths represented by AB, EB, BD and CD on the sketch were determined to be 1800 feet, 1400 feet, 700 feet, 800 feet respectively. Segment AC and DE intersect at point B, and angle AEB and angle CDB have the same measure. What is the value of x? So here we have to determine the value of x, where AB is equal to 1800 feet, EB is equal to 1400 feet, BD is equal to 700 feet, and CD is equal to 800 feet. And we have to determine this length. Now you see there are two triangles, triangle ABE and triangle BDC. These two are the similar triangles. This side AB is similar to side BC because both the sides are opposite to the angles. So this side AB is opposite to this angle and this side BC is opposite to this angle. Alright, now this side 800 is similar to this side x feet, and this side 1400 is similar to 1700. So the common ratio, the ratio between their sides will be equal. So I'll use the formula. The ratio of the sides would be equal. So how can I do that? I'll do it like this. L1 over L1 is equal to L2 over L2. Now this L1 is the side of the smaller triangle, that is 700. I'll take this as 700, and the side similar to this 700 in the larger triangle is 1400. So I'll take capital L1 as 1400. So the small L1 would be 700 and the capital L1 would be 1400. Similarly, now I have to find out this x, and that x is the larger side, is the side of the larger triangle. So I'll put L2 as x, and the side that is similar to x is 800 in the smaller triangle. So this will be my equation. Now I'll just cross multiply them and I'll find out the value of x. So x will become equal to 800 times 1400 divided by 700. So 700 times 1 times 2, so 800 times 2 will become 1600. So the value of x would be equal to 1600. So this is how we will do this question. The important point and important trick in this question was to identify the similar sides. Once you identify the similar sides, then by using this formula of comparing the similar sides, we can work out the unknown side. Question number 18. Two equations are given, two simultaneous equations. According to the system of equations above, what is the value of x? So it's just simple straightforward question, and we have to work out the value for x. So in the first equation, I'm going to use the method of substitution. So x plus y is equal to -9. So x will be equal to -9 negative y. So I'll insert this -9 negative y in this second equation, and I'll find out the value for y. So the second equation is x plus 2y is equal to -25. So x is -9 negative y plus 2y is equal to -25. Now I'll just work out the value for y. So it will be like -9 negative y plus 2y is equal to -25. So -9 plus y is equal to -25. So y will become equal to -25 plus 9. It will be y equals to -16. And now I'll just insert the value of y into the equation. So because x is equal to -9 negative y, so x will become equal to -9 -16. So -9 plus 16, that will become equal to, x will become equal to 7. X is equal to 7. So this is the value for x. Now here this method got a bit longer, so let's try to solve it by the method of elimination. Okay, so in the method of elimination, what I'll do here is I'll multiply this first equation with 2. I'll multiply the whole equation with 2. So this first equation will become 2x plus 2y equals to -18. Why did I multiply it with 2? Because I want the coefficient of y to be 2. So when I'll subtract equation 1 from equation 2 or equation 2 from equation 1, I could cancel out this 2y. So now I'll write down the equation 2 over here. That would be x plus 2y equals to negative 25. Now I'll subtract both equations, so it will be like the sign will get opposite. So 2x minus x, that would be x, minus 2y will get cancelled with minus 2y, and minus 18 plus 25, that will give us 7. So this is the shorter method. So it's up to you which method you think is easier. You can use that method to find out the system of equation. Alright, question number 19. In a right angle triangle, one angle measures x degrees where sine of x is equal to 4 over 5. What is cos 90 minus x degrees? Now over here we have to convert this cos somehow into sine, so we could use this value as in the answer. Now cos 90 minus x, this 90 minus x is showing us the angle. Alright, so let me draw the x and y axis, x axis, y axis. This is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. Now in the first quadrant, the angle is from 0 to 90 degrees. In the second quadrant, the angle is from 90 to 100 degrees. In the third quadrant, the angle is from in the second quadrant, the angle is from 90 to 180 degrees. In the third quadrant, the angle is from 180 to 270 degrees. And in the fourth quadrant, the angle is from 270 to 360 degrees, or back to 0 degrees. So over here, we can see that the angle is 90 minus x. So our angle is something less than 90. So our angle is lying in the first quadrant. This could be our angle, 90 minus x degrees. Okay, now remember one thing, that in the first quadrant, sine, cos, tan, they all are positive. All right, one more thing that you have to see here, this is 90 degrees. So whenever there is 90 minus x or 270 minus x, then this cos is converted into sine, and if there is sine over here, the sine would be converted into cos. So this expression will become sine x plus, this plus is due to this first quadrant, and this sine is due to this 90 degree of angle. I told you whenever the angle over here is 90 degree or 270 degree, the cos will be converted into sine. So we can write cos 90 minus x as sine x. Okay, so now the value of sine x is already given. So sine x is equal to 4 over 5. So 4 over 5 is our answer. Okay, now if someone has confusion how this cos 90 minus x became sine x, so you can just insert any value of x over here. Let's suppose I put x equal to 30. So cos 90 minus 30, that will be cos of 60. Alright, so cos of 60 is equal to 1 over 2. Now I'll put 30 over here. So sine of 30 will be equal to 1 over 2 as well. It means that cos 90 minus x is equal to sine of x. So this is how we will do this question. So the final answer will be 4 over 5, or in decimals we can write it as 0.8. Now let's move on to the last question of this section, question number 20. Now in this question it says if a is equal to this and 2a is equal to this, what is the value of x? So in simple terms, we have to make x as the subject, and I'll insert the value of a as 5 under root 2 and work out the value for x. So I'll write it here. 2a is equal to radical 2x. Now I'll take the square on both sides. Now this square will cancel out this square root sign, so 2a square on the left side will become 4a square, and on the right side 4a square, it will be equal to 2x. Now I have to isolate x, so I'll divide both sides by 2. So this 2 will get cancelled, and this 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So x will be equal to 2a square. Now in this a, I'll insert 5 under root 2. So a is equal to 5 under root 2. I'll insert the value of a over here. So x will be equal to 2 times 5 under root 2 whole square. So 2 times, now this 5 square will become 25, and this radical 2 will get cancelled with this 2, so it will be like only 2 here. So we'll have 2 times 50, that will be 100. So the value of x for this expression would be equal to 100. So this was it from the SAT practice test number 1, the non-calculator section. I hope you like it.